Tell you what,
All right, then.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Moneybags. I'm gonna make this more interesting for you. How about we double it? $2 million. $2 million since I beat your boy Dylan Dennis. I know you're gonna see this. I know you're gonna see this clip.
God damn.
You're coaching him. You're guiding him. He's definitely gonna show up, right? Yeah, fuck you. Both of you are all bark, no bite. $2 million that says I beat your boy. I will send you the contract tomorrow.
Wow.
But no, he's not gonna respond. All bark, no bite.
And like, there's something about like calling somebody out, which you immediately respect them a little bit more, like willing to put yourself out there for a fight.
You get a new name for yourself. Look at what has happened to Michael Perry. You know, one of our big stars here, the king of violence. He titles himself, and you know he's had such a rise in the sport. Now he's up against you know, a little dweeb of a thing in a fight this weekend. That we're all.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back when Logan Paul turned down a fight with Conor McGregor, one of the biggest names in combat sports. Logan, often flaunting his warrior persona, was given the chance to step into the ring with a legend, but he politely declined. Joe couldn't let that slide, calling out Logan for talking tough while backing down when the real challenge came. Despite all the flexing, Logan folded faster than a cheap deck chair when it was time to face a true fighter.
I would like to fight Conor. I think it'd be really cool.
Do you think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185, and he's.
But size-wise, Conor was most effective at 145.
Yeah, but we'll always come back to, like, he's a professional fighter. I'm a YouTuber, you know, and so that's supposed to be the give and take of it. Like, why would I, a YouTuber who's 0-1, have any business beating the great Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor is due to fight Logan Paul, not to be confused with Jake Paul, in India for $250 million each. $250 million is more than Tyson and Usyk combined. Not even close. For just Conor will make more than Usyk and Fury made combined.
Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. That fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, you know, things, but I don't say that anymore. Because you never know. You never know what could happen.
Let's not pretend this was just another fight. It was Conor McGregor, the trash-talking Irishman. This match could have shattered pay-per-view records, boosted Logan's credibility, and proven his fighting skills. Instead, Logan chose to duck the fight, cementing his legacy as someone who avoids real challenges but never shies away from drama.
My only concern, too, is if Conor doesn't take this serious, and like kind of moseys in, he's partying, you know, I think you get fucked up. That's what's interesting to me. Now, if it's prime Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point, you gotta get it to Paul brothers. One fought Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. I don't know how you feel about it.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back in calling out Logan Paul's absurd decision, laughing at how the YouTube star-turned-UFC performer crafted an even more ridiculous storyline than his matches. With pure sarcasm, Joe pointed out that only Logan could turn down the fight of a lifetime against one of the greatest UFC fighters in a legendary venue like Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. Rogan joked that Logan must be far too busy perfecting his teddy bear wrestling skills in WWE to take on a real challenge.
The right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls. You know how Dana holds grudges. We know how he holds grudges. For him to be in cahoots with the Paul brothers in any facet.
Logan Paul's reputation as a fighter has always been questionable, to put it lightly. His impressive record includes a split decision loss to KSI and a disqualification win over Dylan Dennis, hardly a resume to boast about. Joe Rogan didn't hold back, tearing apart the Dennis debacle by calling it more of a circus act than an actual boxing match. According to Rogan, Dennis threw fewer punches in 6 rounds than most people throw at a punching bag during warm-ups. Logan's big win came only because Dennis tried to choke him mid-fight. Hardly a victory, Rogan quipped, but an escape from embarrassment.
I assume Logan's very busy. I would assume that he probably didn't come up with this on his own. I would assume that someone probably came to him with this project. This is just total assumption, guessing on my part.
So we have text messages from behind the scenes. A lot of people, the people who were responsible for it say Logan kind of spearheaded the idea. And he says he spearheaded the idea.
So it was his...
Let's return to Conor McGregor. Love him or hate him, McGregor brings a level of star power and credibility that few can match. Sure, he hasn't fought since 2021, and his record isn't perfect, but even a half-injured McGregor is miles ahead of Logan Paul. Joe Rogan put it bluntly. Conor would dismantle Logan with one leg, even blindfolded, and it'd still be over in less than 3 rounds.
McGregor and Logan Paul are featured as part of the historic Visit India tourism campaign, so it's government funded, yeah? It's a clash in Mumbai, iconic stadium. The two will be rewarded for their efforts, with McGregor set to walk away with $250 million. That's more than to fight Floyd. The event will be funded by the Ambani family dynasty, the richest in India. See how much they're worth? So $500 million has to be pennies for them. So India's Ambani family tops Forbes list of Asia's richest families. You know how rich you got to be Asia's richest family? Singapore, India's Ambani family tops 2017 Forbes list.
Joe Rogan couldn't resist mocking the $250 million payday each fighter could have earned. That's not just life-changing money, it's buy your own island and never see a Paul brother again money. Yet Logan walks away from it. Either he's got more money than brains, or he knows just how badly that fight would go for him. Logan Paul, the self-proclaimed internet sensation turned one-eyed fighter, is truly living up to the family legacy. He's Jake Paul's older brother, and if there's one thing these two share besides their last name, it's their talent for cherry-picking opponents. Jake, the king of carefully curated matchups, famously avoided real boxers until he couldn't anymore. Logan isn't much different. In fact, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. It practically rolled into Jake's backyard.
I would love to do a UFC fight.
Yeah, who the hell are you gonna fight, bro?
Who do you want me to fight, Mike?
Maybe Conor or something.
Jake's legendary challenge to Mike Tyson wasn't some random choice. Tyson, now in his 50s, is far from his prime. Sure, he's still a boxing icon, but let's be honest, he's not the same Iron Mike who ruled the heavyweight division decades ago. Inspired by Jake's boldness, Logan seems to be following a similar path, targeting big names with low risks. It's a strategy that says more about maintaining a brand than proving real skill. Logan's fight history follows this same formula. A match with Floyd Mayweather, a 50-0 boxing legend, sounds impressive until you realize it was an exhibition with no stakes. Floyd didn't even bother to train like he would for a real fight, and Logan barely landed a punch. Meanwhile, Jake kept himself busy facing aging MMA fighters and basketball players, consistently sidestepping actual boxers. The Paul brothers might as well trademark strategic opponent selection as their fight strategy.
Yeah, with jabbers.
Man, G and Jake dealing. Oh.
That might work. I don't know what was going on there.
Oh, you know what was going on, brother. You know what was going on.
When Conor McGregor's name came up, it was Logan's chance to do something different, actually fight someone with real credibility and skill. But what did he do? He backed off, just like Jake would have, avoiding the fight faster than he dodges tough questions in interviews. After all, why face someone like McGregor when you can stick to safe, profitable bouts with opponents who either don't know how to box or are well past their prime? Joe Rogan also dug into the psychology behind Logan's decision. This isn't about money or fame, Rogan argued. Logan thrives in controlled environments like WWE, where he can script his moves. In Misfits boxing, he picks opponents who barely pose a threat. But McGregor? That's a different story. Stepping into the ring with him means risking your brand's destruction in under 10 minutes. And that's really the crux of it. Logan Paul isn't a fighter, he's a showman. His entire career revolves around creating spectacles, not proving himself. Joe Rogan summed it up perfectly. Logan doesn't want to be a fighter. He wants to look like one. There's a big difference. Fighters take risks, even when the odds are stacked against them. Showmen pick their spots and hope no one notices the strings pulling the show along. The Mumbai angle only added another layer of absurdity. The fight was supposed to be part of India's Visit India tourism campaign, and Rogan couldn't resist mocking the idea. Imagine flying halfway across the world to watch Logan Paul get knocked out in front of 30,000 screaming fans. Joe joked. That's not a tourism campaign, That's a live-action meme. But Rogan didn't stop there. He took aim at the broader trend of influencer boxing, calling it a sideshow masquerading as a sport. According to Joe, Logan Paul is the poster child for this phenomenon. We've gone from gladiators fighting for honor to influencers playing dress-up in the ring. Rogan said, his frustration palpable. It's like turning the Olympics into a TikTok dance-off.
If it's prime Conor, Logan might get pieced up. One point, you gotta give it to Paul brothers. One fought Mike Tyson, the other's fighting Conor McGregor. I don't know how you feel about it.
Logan Paul's entire persona is built on marketing and theatrics. Joe Rogan pointed out that Logan's rejection of the McGregor fight isn't just a missed opportunity. It's a clear admission that he's not ready for the big leagues. Logan talks a big game, but when it's time to back it up, he's nowhere to be found. He's like a wrestler who runs out of the ring the moment the bell rings, Rogan said. Despite this, Logan somehow keeps winning, not in the ring, but in the court of public opinion. Rogan acknowledged that Logan's decision to duck McGregor might actually work in his favor. Logan has a knack for spinning anything into a narrative. He'll probably claim McGregor's not worth his time or some similar excuse, and his fans will eat it up like gospel.
You guys see the Logan Paul Conor McGregor shit? Who wins in that fight? I think Logan Paul.
I mean, we haven't seen Conor fight in a while.
I feel like Logan Paul, at his size, when he fought Floyd too, that was years ago. He's like been training. He's in an insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing these types of...
Joe Rogan wrapped up his rant with a question that cuts to the heart of the issue. At what point do we stop pretending Logan Paul is a real fighter? He's a marketer, a showman, a walking billboard, but a fighter? Not even close. Logan's connection to Jake makes everything crystal clear. This isn't about fighting, it's about spectacle. The Paul brothers have turned the fight game into a circus act, where the goal isn't to win respect, but to rack up paychecks and grab headlines. So, what can we expect from Logan? More of the same. Whether it's exhibitions or cherry-picked matchups, he's sticking to the family script. Don't expect real fights, just more marketing. Logan Paul, rejecting a fight with Conor McGregor, isn't just a missed opportunity, it's a loud and clear message. Logan doesn't want to prove himself in the ring. He wants to stay in his carefully curated bubble. While this strategy may protect his brand, it also exposes the reality. Logan is more interested in controlling his narrative than stepping up to real challenges. As Joe Rogan put it, if Logan ever decides to stop playing it safe and actually fight, let me know. Until then, I'll stick to watching real fighters. So, what do you think? Is Logan Paul too scared to face a real fighter? Or is he just too busy starring in his own circus? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see if anyone can come up with an excuse more ridiculous than Logan's.